This is 5 on your side at 4. Focused on you.
Right now at 4, the extreme heat returning to the bi-state. Temperatures back above the 90-degree mark after we saw just a brief relief yesterday. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brent Solomon.
And I'm Kay Quinn. This is the start of a hot weather pattern that could bring triple digits to the region. Meteorologist Jim Castillo is in for Scott Connell. Jim, a little relief in the next couple of days?
You know, no relief at all, and you can feel that humidity and that heat. And of course, that triple-digit number may hit some areas, especially around the metro, as we get into Friday and Saturday. Those are the 2 days we're watching. Right now, look outside, though. You know, sometimes in this extreme heat and humidity, you get a shower or storm bubbling up. So we've been watching for that. They've been north and west of Columbia, and there may be a little bit of a shower there north of Rolla and outside of the viewing area. Otherwise, we're dry. You can see some thunder and lightning right up to the north. You see the lightning flashes. Kirksville, that area, all the way back into Kansas City. And look at that temperature in St. Louis at 91 degrees. Feels like 92 with that humidity at 41%. So the dew point not too terrible, but definitely up there at 64 and a south wind at about 10 miles an hour. So other area temperatures look like this. We were back in the 90s yesterday. Remember, most of us stayed in the 80s, but we'll talk more about that weekend rain chance coming up in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you, Jim. If you need help finding a cooling center near you, just text the word HEAT to 314-425-5355. We'll send a map straight to your phone.
Now to a developing story in Nebraska. Authorities are investigating an attempted robbery that left a Eureka man dead and a Eureka woman now fighting for life. This happened this morning at a rest area off Interstate 80 near Grand Island. The Hall County Sheriff's Office found the victim stabbed. They were rushed to the hospital where the 72-year-old man died. The 71-year-old woman has life-threatening injuries. Investigators say the 22-year-old suspect ran away, but they were able to catch and arrest him. Right now, the victims have not been identified.
Right now, a man is in jail after a shooting in Rolla ended with a high-speed chase. A 5 on Your Side viewer sent us video of that chase. Rolla police say this morning the suspect walked into Sink's pharmacy and demanded drugs. Workers tell police he pulled out an AR rifle and fired multiple shots, hitting a worker in the leg. Police say she is expected to be okay. The suspect then led police on a chase through Rolla and Phelps County. It all ended when an officer forced him off the road.
Well, St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones' guaranteed basic income program is now facing a legal challenge in court.
Hundreds of St. Louis families receiving a $500 monthly payment could see that benefit come to an end if the lawsuit is successful. Our political editor Mark Maxwell is here to break down that lawsuit. Mark?
Kay and Brent, good afternoon. St. Louis is one of several American cities testing out this guaranteed basic income program. Here, the city approved using $5 million in federal American Rescue Plan Act funds, plus another $1 million from St. Louis and Jack Dorsey. Parents of public school or charter school kids had started to apply for these funds last fall. Out of more than 5,000 families who applied, 540 of them who make less than 170% of the federal poverty line won in that lottery program. Money started going out in December, but one of the high-profile lawyers who just defeated the city's earnings tax for remote workers argues this program is unconstitutional in Missouri and illegal in the city of St. Louis. Attorney Beavis Schock highlighted portions of both documents that say government cannot give you free money unless you earn it.
It's so clear that they can't do these, just give money to people who win a lottery. That's the only argument we have to make. It is true that because kids who go to private school, parochial school, and homeschool are excluded from the program, that violates the First Amendment freedom of religion. In other words, you can't say because you're religious you can't have a government money.
The city has until next Friday to file its official response in court. Schock says he's not looking to claw back any funds that have already been paid out, but he does want the court to step in order the city to stop making these payments. The mayor's office policy is to never comment on pending litigation.
All right, thank you, Mark. Right now, America is celebrating Juneteenth, the date marking the end of slavery.
And as the presidential election draws a bit closer, the black vote is vitally important for both President Biden and former President Trump. NBC's Chris Pallone reports.
At commemorations across the country, people paused to celebrate Juneteenth, the 1865 day enslaved people in Texas learned they were free. A federal holiday since 2021, this year's commemoration comes less than 5 months from the next presidential election and at a time when both candidates are increasing their outreach to black voters.
This Juneteenth,
The Biden campaign releasing a new ad targeting black voters today. We talked about the election stakes at a Juneteenth celebration last week.
They're old ghosts in new garments trying to take us back. Well, there are. Taking away your freedoms, making it harder for black people to vote or have your vote counted. Closing doors of opportunity. Attacking the values of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
New polling shows warning signs for the president in battleground states Michigan and Pennsylvania, with eroding support since 2020 from black voters, down to 55% in that traditionally Democratic constituency. The Trump campaign sees opportunity in the numbers.
We've done more for, and I say this, I say it proudly, more for the black population than any president since Abraham Lincoln.
So how will voters choose?
Yeah, well, I think they could you can always do better.
I think people have to do their own research. We have to be responsible. We can't wait for the candidate. We got to go to the candidate.
A hard push to court undecided voters when a few thousand votes in a handful of states could change the course of history. Chris Pallone, NBC News, Washington.
And speaking of Juneteenth, there are some celebrations happening locally, like this one in Delwood. The third annual Juneteenth Festival kicked off at noon with a parade. There's live entertainment going on this afternoon, and fireworks will end the night. 5 on your side's Tracy Henson will bring us live reports coming up at 5 and 6. For a complete list of Juneteenth celebrations, just text Juneteenth to 314-425-5355. We'll send you a link.
Today, a North St. Louis County restaurant opened its second location. Kathy's Kitchen to Go is now open at the R&R Marketplace in Delwood. This new restaurant is card only, but features a variety of food items, including wings, Philly cheesesteaks, cheeseburgers, and more. Owner Kathy Jenkins says she's been trying to open a second location since January.
Well, today is our grand opening, and it is Juneteenth. I am honored to be opening my restaurant this day on this national holiday that we work so hard for. We're open!
Come on!
Kathy's Kitchen to Go is open Tuesdays through Thursdays between 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Kansas makes more plans to lure 2 sports teams from Missouri. The funding now in place to build a new home for the Chiefs and Royals.
And strike averted. The new deal for a group of union workers who deliver groceries in our area.
On this last day of spring, weather hits extremes in many regions of the country. Who's dealing with the first hurricane of 2024 and where devastating wildfires are forcing evacuations.